So last night I was playing a bunch of games of ranked, made it all the way up to Plat 4, and then slowly but surely, as I approached Plat 3, watched my RP decline. Which made me think, maybe Wraith isn't the legend that we should be playing. Apex is a game that is all about well-timed aggression, and Wraith encourages you to put yourself in positions that create habits that you simply can't cope with when you get stuck playing another legend. I put together a list of reasons on why I think this to be the case. She's not the worst legend in the world, and I don't think that you should ever stop playing her, but it's worth considering playing another legend when you're first learning the game, and here's why. First, low profile. Wraith is one of the legends that receives a low profile nerf, which means that she takes an additional 5% damage anytime you take damage. In addition to that, a recent patch made it so that limb damage is the same as body damage, which means that everything except for a headshot gives you full damage. Headshot gives you the same multiplier that it would have otherwise, plus the 5%. Someone who's just starting off the game, hasn't gotten down the movement yet, hasn't gotten down any of the other aspects of the game, and in addition to that, they're taking a ton more damage than they would have otherwise, ruining their fun. I'm someone who took a long time to understand the movement in this game, and getting melted before you even know where the shots are coming from just ends up adding frustration to the game that could be avoided by playing another legend like Caustic, Gibraltar, or any of the ones that don't have the low profile nerf to it. Number 2, her kit encourages you to push even when you think it might be a bad idea. Being able to portal up to a fight, fire off a few shots, pop back in the portal, heal up, go back in, doesn't get much done if you can't down an enemy. And in the beginning, when you're first learning the game, unless you've come from shooters in the past, your aim might not be the best, you might not realize how long it takes to actually down someone, and you end up putting yourself in a position where you've used up all of your resources and someone else hasn't. Because Wraith requires an aggressive playstyle, most people think that this is the way that you're supposed to play her, rather than picking your fights, having timed aggression, so that when you do actually get into an engagement, you're able to win, and you put yourself in the best possible position to do so. This can almost always be avoided by taking a moment before you start a fight, looking at what's going on around you, finding all the teammates on the opposing team, figuring out where your teammates are, and communicating before you start your push. You don't end up in a situation where your teammate's not there to back you up, you're getting melted and downed by other teams, and then third-partied, and the game's over before you know it. Number 3, queuing out of a fight you shouldn't have taken in the first place ends up becoming a crutch. For those of you who don't know, Wraith's tactical ability, Into the Void, allows you to smash down the Q button, go into the void, and get out of a fight without taking any damage. Sure, they can still see the trail behind you, but you can move without taking damage. I'm guilty of this one too. Hot off a squad wipe, you see another team, you charge in, you think you can take them down too, you haven't healed, you haven't charged your shields up, and you end up being the one that gets down because you think that you can just queue right out of the situation, and the moment you come out of your queue, the whole team is ready to focus you. And then you end up downed, your team isn't there to back you up, and now it turns into a 3v2 situation that's much harder to win with your team being at the disadvantage. Wraith's tactical can be incredibly powerful when used properly. Being able to push a fight and get out and get healed without taking damage quickly can be the difference between winning and your team ending up back on the respawn screen where you have to ready up for another match. Number 4, she keeps getting nerfed. This is more food for thought than anything else. Wraith has seen more than her fair share of nerfs. She started off being a hugely powerful legend, huge movement, then they hit her with low profile, which, like we talked about earlier, gives her an extra 5% damage. Then they hit her with the limb damage that causes body damage and limb damage to be the same. Her tactical has also been nerfed twice. It went from a 25-second charge time and an increased speed boost to a 35-second charge time and no speed boost. In past seasons, you used to also be able to combine the speed that you gain from using her ultimate ability with the portal with the speed boost that you would gain from the tactical and be one of the fastest legends moving across the map. That's been balanced. You can no longer do that. On top of that, as I mentioned before, the charge time has been upped by another 10 seconds to a full 35-second charge time, which is a huge amount of time and really only affords you the ability to use that ability once per fight. Any more than that, and you're going to find yourself in a tight situation. Number 5, and this is again my opinion, she encourages bad decisions. Because you know you can get out of a fight, because you know you can portal up and portal away, because you can queue out of a situation that you think you might have gotten yourself in over your head, it encourages you to push fights without proper positioning, without figuring out where all the opposing teammates are, so that you can understand where you need to be, and it gives you a false sense of security because you think that you can always get away. Pushing a fight without considering your surroundings, without considering the people around you, is one of the biggest mistakes, myself included, everybody makes. And what almost always gets you killed is your positioning and bad decision making. Most times it's not your aim, unless you've got god-awful aim and can't hit any of your shots. Most of the time it's your positioning and the decisions you make in a fight determine whether you come out on top or whether your team has to bring you to a respawn beacon. And the kit that Wraith has encourages you to push fights that you shouldn't otherwise be taking or that you should be slowing down. And there you have it. Those are my 5 reasons why I think that Wraith should not be the first legend that you try. I know this sounds like a bash fest on Wraith, but it's not. It's just food for thought to consider trying your skill, honing your skills with another legend like Caustic, like Gibraltar, like even Revenant, that are a little bit more underrated and that allows you to understand the movement of the game and the other abilities. Because it's almost a guarantee that one day you're going to queue in and you're not going to be able to pick Wraith. You're going to have to pick another one of these legends, and it helps to learn a more difficult legend first so that you're less discouraged when you have to play them. Once you understand the movement of the game and the best strategy to make sure that you're coming out on top and winning your gunfights, you get to use Wraith like the scalpel that she's meant to be, rather than trying to use her like a sledgehammer. That being said, I main Wraith now. After almost a full year of maining Watson and Caustic, I've now racked up more kills with Wraith than I have both other legends combined, because I'm able to use her to the highest level of my ability, because I understand how the other legends move, because I understand how to position myself now, even though it's not perfect. And I'm able to get more out of her ability set and in turn get more fun. At the end of the day, the most important thing is to enjoy the game. And if you think everything here is garbage, that's fine. Hit the dislike button, leave it in the, tell me what you think in the comments, that's fine. If it's fun for you to play Wraith in the beginning, go for it. Also, if you enjoyed the video and want to see more gameplay, more upcoming tech reviews, and want to help me grow the channel, consider hitting the subscribe button below and give me any suggestions or thoughts that you have in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.